Okay, so now we're streaming. I got everything up. Make sure here. Oh, wrong one. Okay, let me get rid of this one. Let's see here. That is irrelevant. Okay, Twitter. Okay. Oh, wait, shoot. Oh, man. The one thing that I need open, I can't freaking see. Hold on, bear with me, guys. I completely accidentally, I just. Hold on, guys. Give me like 2 seconds here. I'm trying to. Okay. Okay. Make sure everything's working. We are all good. Just making sure everything's great and wonderful. Let me make sure I got both of these up. I'm just going to go here real quick, which seems okay. Okay, I think we're all good to go. Congratulations, myself. Good job, yourself. Nobody here is here to hear me. Okay. Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of Talking with Dashing Foxie as I hit the microphone 350 times this one time. This one stream. Okay. I promised you guys that I would be streaming on Saturday. Well, here I am. Promise kept. Now, what are we going to be talking about today? That is the ultimate question. So, we are going to be talking about, if you have never went to a Furcon or plan on going to a Furcon, in the near future, we are going to be looking at pluses and minuses of the big versus small. So I'm going to be focusing on this episode mostly for the people who has never been to conventions. And then what we'll do is our next episode, which will be part 2 or deuce, we will be getting more into the lines of what convention should you attend. So, but right now we are going to be focusing solely, not just solely, but we'll be having different other discussions with hopefully people, and we'll be asking what cons do they think that they should go to. Now, this one I actually have a Twitter poll for. I have all the other stuff. So if you want to go take a look at my Twitter, if I can speak right now, you can take a look at it and you can see that I have a poll up. That poll will be basically open until tomorrow, so hopefully we can talk a little bit about going to different conventions. So, the volume mic is low. Okay, hold on. I'll fix it. Hold on. I'm trying to keep it low because I'm down in the basement right now, guys, and everybody's walking upstairs. And you can hear every freaking crack. Hold on, if I can find my microphone. This is terrible being in fursuit. Okay, hold on. Okay, what about now, guys? You should be able to hear me clear now, right? Okay, I'm pretty sure the microphone might be a little too loud. Okay, hopefully, there you go. And hopefully that is fixed. Please tell me if it is fixed or not. Okay. Better. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So, now guys, I'm going to be having to do this myself because I don't have a producer. If you would like to be my producer, that'd be great. And you could control my computer as I'm going. Actually, I figured out that you can do that. So, if you want to be my producer, please let me know. in my Twitter or anything like that. So let me do this. Okay. Now, guys, I know it's kind of old and everybody has done it and I've done it before, but to make this list, I have made, as you can see here, a tier list of all the conventions that we will be talking about today, from small to big. Now, why did I make a tier list? Because it's a lot easier to do that than to actually, what's the word? Damn it. The word is, it's better to do this than it is for me to like write it on a marker board and other things like that. I've wrote it on marker boards in the past, but I figure a tier list would be a lot better now than it would be to get a whole marker board and all the other stuff. Now, we have a total of 17 cons here, all from different parts of this country. Notice they're not from Europe, and if you have been like, oh, well, but I'm from Europe, and that's like so unfair. Well, unfortunately, I can't do anything about that because I don't know anybody who's went to a Europe. Well, actually, I have a couple people who went to a Europe con, but I don't have them on speed dial, and I don't want to be like, going into territory that I don't know, because I think that's wrong for any form of fashion. So, what we are going to be doing is, hold on, let me go back to my lovely dashing face here. So what we are basically going to be doing is taking that tier list and basically making different things. Now, with your vote that you have created, if you have done the vote or taken a part of the vote, I will be giving additional points to that convention and then maybe rising it to the top or rising it to the bottom. Now, the only reason why I am doing it this way is because I want your input just as much as I want my input. Now, that's why we're going to try to make this fair, balanced, and all the other wonderful stuff. Now, let me put on a paw here because I feel like I can't do this without like one paw, but it's got to be like a good paw. Okay. Oh, great. Okay, wait, hold on. Dang it. And of course, it's got to be the wrong paw. Whatever. Okay, so here's what we are going to do. With that tier list, I'm going to go to each individual one. Now, each time that we get to one that somebody has commented on, I'm going to go to Twitter and see what their comment is. If you still want to comment, you are still allowed. You go to my Twitter page, which is dashingfoxie. You can search me up. And then comment on my latest one, and then you could vote, and then I could tell what your experience is at a convention. Now, if it's a convention I don't have on here, it will go to the one that's the smallest, biggest, or medium size, depending on which con that you have attended. So we are going to keep this fair. We are going to keep this from untamed from me, and I'm going to try my best to keep it as fair as possible. There is some cons that I'm not a huge fan of here, which again that's why I'm going to try to I'm going to even it out with you guys. So hopefully this all works out and we can have a wonderful time. And then what I'm going to do in the middle of this, I'm going to open up the phone lines. You can give me a call. I will give out my number, and then we could talk more about the different cons and positioning. So let's first go to the tier list. The tier list is, oh darn it, if I can find my mouse. This is terrible. I need a producer really bad, like really, really bad. Okay. Don't try this in fursuit because it is suffering. I'm trying my best to keep it in the frame, so I'm sorry. Still trying to get used to this all new setup. Okay. So, there's my mouse. Okay. So, our categories are so I made these all furry puns, so I apologize in advance if my trash is showing. But I made it fur the win, which basically means go for it. You have for sure, or go for sure. So, yeah, I know, it's pretty corny. Then we have furry and then woo, which is basically saying that it's for the it's basically go, and it's pretty good. Okay, then you have fur meh, which is basically you should go, but it's meh, so whatever. Okay, and then we have Furry, which is basically like ew, like you could possibly go to it, but you know it's not the greatest thing. And then we have Fur Don't. Okay, Fur Don't means just don't go to it for your very first convention, and you'll have a better time if you don't go to it for your very first convention. And again, sorry guys, that's why I had to keep my microphone so low, because you could probably hear everything that's going on upstairs. And of course, there had to be a party going on today as soon as my live stream started happening. Well, not a party, but it's just like three of the family members are up there, and basically. So let's do this. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to go back to my lovely face, which is lovely, I guess, if you want to call it lovely. And then I'm going to go to here. If there's any questions, hello there, Mr. Robert TV. Okay, and then hello Zen. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to start rating all of these. Okay, what's your question? Since you have a question, what is your question? I need to know what your question is. So, that's what we're going to do, and we are going to see if this works out perfectly. Now, again, it's all coming from Twitter. It's all coming from different things and other things. How do I overcome my fear of furries? I was always scared of them. Oh, well, the best way to do it is to face your fears and just give one a hug. That's basically how that's how I always tell people to do that. Okay, so what we are going to do, well, just basically give them a hug. They're friendly guys. You're not going to get bitten. Your arm's not going to be bitten. It looks like a wolf, but it's not a wolf. So or give them a friendly handshake. Okay. Okay, well, they're not going to eat you, buddy. They're not. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to start this quote-unquote S-list off. And what we are going to do is determine which cons are best to go to. You can put in your input in the comments or go to my Twitter and you can put in your input there. So they are not going to eat you. Relax. Rob TV. You're something. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to start off with these conventions, and then as I go along, you will be able to see. You'll be able to put your input in and be like, no, I don't agree, I agree with you, or I disagree. So, let us begin, shall we? We have here, and then here. Okay. Now, our very first dock on the market is in small to medium con. I'm going to call this basically a medium con. I mean, well, actually, maybe a little bit, because I couldn't differentiate it, because it's hard to differentiate. I'm going to go with a small con first, which I should have put it on the first. I'm just going to put it as a small con, okay, which will be Philadelphia. If you have never been to Philadelphia, we have a 2-week exclusive event for you. I mean, not a 2-week. We have a weekend exclusive event for you, which is basically almost 1,140 to 1,330 people. So this is a smaller con, which is nice. It is in a hotel that has a casino attached to it, which is good. So if you want to gamble, you can have the option to gamble. Just don't walk with your fursuit in there. You will get arrested. Just do not do that scenario, and you will be fine. Now, I am looking at this, and since this is a smaller con, and we're going to go to our Twitter poll and see if there's anybody who tweeted. Okay, so we have a total of 35 votes, and so far, small is in second place, big is in last, and medium is in first. So what we are going to do is we're going to base that off a point system. And this gets an... Oh, wait, sorry. I cannot see my mouse because I am, like, literally lost. Okay. I think I found it. So what we're going to do is we are going to make medium plus 2 points because it is in first. Small gets 1 plus, and big gets nothing. So, what I'm going to do is, since this is a small con, you get an added point. Now, my opinion, this is a good first start out con. Why? Because it's smaller. You get a little bit of everything. You can actually host a panel at Philadelphia if you are looking to start a panel or your very first panel. So, now what you are going to do is we are going to take this all into consideration with the smaller panel sizes. We have you have a smaller audience. Now, this is more of a local meet, so I would probably recommend, if you are more in the local terms, you're probably going to want to go this meet more than the person who's in California. Oh, darn it. The person is in California and they're looking to basically go to their very first ever con. So, I'm gonna put this in the category of meh or what's this category. Now, the only reason why I'm putting it in this category is because it's small, there's not a lot all to do, and it's not like 100% exciting to be there. I went to this convention twice so far, and what the hell are they doing up there? Sorry, I'm getting annoyed. But, so what it is, so we're looking at a total of maybe in the meh category or the what's this category. Now, because of the smallness, you're not going to know that much people unless if you're local and stuff like that. Now, do I have any disagreements for this? And if there is a person who went to Philadelphia, then this is the time to tell me, hey, this doesn't belong in the meh or the what's this category. So, let's see. Hold on. Let me go back down to... Oh, my gosh. Okay, what we are going to do is I'm going to switch back to my face, and we're going to look at the comments. Let's see. No, I'm not doing it. That guy's a troll. Thank you, troll. You're such a great guy. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is... what we are going to do is basically open up the comments. Are you going to be basically for me or against me in the meh or what if? It's in the middle. I'm saying Philadelphia is in the middle. And the only reason why I say Philadelphia is in the middle is because I personally think that it's a okay to semi-okay convention. It's nothing too exciting. You're not going to go there and basically, start a fire or do anything like that, but you are going to be having a good time doing it, but it's just, there's something missing to it. And I feel like that's the biggest, drawback to it, is there's something missing to it. And the thing that's missing, it might be just because how small it is, or it might be the lack of panels. It might be all these things above, but I just feel like it could be better. And now maybe it's also too, I am a little bit biased because I did show up there at 11 o'clock at night after my job, and I set it up, and it was just like, wow, it is freaking terrible on the scale of their registration not opening, their other things not opening. It's just, it was probably one of the worst conventions I went to through organization wise. And again, that might, I mean, it just depends on the person. I'm a person who likes to go to a convention, go to a couple panels, and have a good time while doing it. Now, I could be wrong, and if panels are not that concerning to you, then I would probably say, yes, Philadelphia is a great start-out con. But if you really want to show that you are beginning in it, just it, and you want to be at the panels, then you're going to be basically there for the fun and basically hanging out with a lot of friends. My brother, hold on. My brother said it was really fun, that it was so much. No, get out of here. Okay. I don't understand why the trolls are here, which means that, that's good. You're giving me views. Thank you for giving me views. I appreciate it. Every view counts towards getting more people in here. And if you want to do that, well, fine, whatever. Okay, so what we are going to do is that's why I give it the what's this category, or the meh category, which again, if you're planning on going, I'm not trying to shoot down your things, and I'm not trying to shoot down anything. I just want to basically warn you before doing it. And yep. So hold on, I gotta text somebody. So hold on, I just gotta text somebody here. If I can find them. Okay, so yep, that's what I'm going to give Philadelphia, and I'm just going to basically say that it is, yeah, okay. Now, we are going to go to the next one here, and let's see, hold on. Okay, do that. So if nobody disagrees with Furry in the meh or the what's this column, I'm fine with that. And we're going to move on to the next one, which is Fur Squared. I have never been to Fur Squared. Well, actually, no. Let's try to mix it up here, because that's another small convention, and I feel like that's probably going to be one of the ones that, Okay, so I'm gonna switch it up, and we're gonna go to a medium-sized con, which is Motor City Fur Con. Motor City Fur Con is a good convention. I'm not gonna give any beef for it. It is a very fun time. I've never been to the new hotel though, so if you've been to the new hotel, maybe you can update me on the new hotel stuff, and maybe we can actually, discuss that. But I've never been to the new hotel. I've been to the old hotel, which had a lot of good, it just had a lot of good things going for it. It was, the only thing I didn't like about the old hotel was you had to walk a long distance, but I don't know if that's like the new hotel that they have, so I can't really give a good speculation towards it. Oh wait, shoot, I forgot. You gotta give it a point up. So that's in the okay. So what it is it's probably in the for sure go category, or I cannot speak it right now, for the win, because I feel like these two right here are going to be basically. They're going to basically be in this category. And the only reason why I say that is because it's such a small convention, and it's such a tightly woven one, that it's just nice. It has a homey feeling, that where you go and you basically talk to everyone, you have a nice time talking, and you just relax most of the time. The only thing that sucks about it is the food choices are kind of crap. For a new convention goer, that's not really going to affect you that much, because you're in it for the convention. You're not in it for going to either, Applebee's or anything like that. So you're just in it for the new convention experience. So I'd probably put this in the... because I would probably put it down a little bit higher than the Philadelphia. So since it gets a point, I think I'm going to put it in the for the win, because I just feel like it's really good. You have a lot of panels. You can meet a lot of furries that you've never really met before. It is basically the essential of, having a good time, but not having too big of a convention to be like, wow. Like, just wow. So, but I would say it is probably up there in the category. And since we do +2 for the point aspect of it, I would, if it was just my list, I would probably just put it in the go for sure. But I'm going to probably put it in the for the win category because of the simple fact is that it's just it's just an overall beautiful con. It's you go to it and you don't like me. If I go to it, I don't know that many people, and I'm never going to know that much people from MCFC. It's just the facts of life because I don't live close to it. But it is one of those conventions that you can go and you can have a good time, not be overwhelmed, and you can see a couple fursuiters that are a little bit famous, and you can see, and you don't have to worry about the hotel over jamming. So for a very first year con, I'm gonna put it in for the win because I just feel like it's actually winning here. So I'm gonna put this. If anybody has any objections to that, you can definitely say it and stuff like that. So let me just. Oh, darn it. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had it on my face. This is why I need a producer. So, yeah. So I'm gonna put it in for the win. Because of all the factors that I just said. I've been to the convention, never been to the new hotel, but I've been to the convention, and it was actually really fun, and I recommend it to anybody who is going to the convention or is going to their very first convention. It's a very fun time. Let's see. I'm going to go to here. And then I'm sorry. I need a producer or something. I need somebody to help me out with this. So, so again, we're gonna keep continuing and talking about different things like that. But what I am going to say though is that if you're going to your very first convention, and MCFC is a good middle of the road kind of convention that where you go to it, you have a lot of fun, and you basically, it's just an all around great convention. There's nothing wrong with it. You can go to the floor wars, which they usually have. They have all the typical convention stuff, but it's not going to be overwhelming, and it's actually cheap in price too. If you think about it, MCFC is probably in the middle of the road on being cheap in price. If you want a convention that is easy to drive to, flying. I didn't do it on MCFC, but flying is kind of like you got to fly to Detroit, and who wants to be in Detroit, really? I mean, Detroit's just not that great of a place to be in the first place. And it sucks to say, but I really wish Detroit was better, but it's on the outskirts of Detroit, so you don't have to worry about it. So that's my opinion. If anybody has anything to add to that, that's fine by me. You can put it in the comments below, and we could talk about it, and that would be great. Let's see if there is. There are no conventions in Chicago. There is a convention in Chicago. Yes, I want to be a furry, but I don't. But where do I start? Oh, well, if you want to be a furry, just start online and go on Twitter, talk, whatever. So you could be a furry. I have a whole entire thing on different things on how to create your persona and stuff like that. If you want to take a look at it, you can go back in the other videos and check. And I have a whole video lineup to where that goes. So yeah, I'll be talking about it in this video. There is one in Chicago, or it's close to Chicago. Okay. So, what we are going to do is we are going to continue on with our S list, and we're going to go to the next I'm going to try my best to keep it to basically going from small, medium to big. So, okay. So, I'm going to go with, because Texas Fur Fiesta is a pretty big con. I'm going to probably say you can argue that it is in the middle. I know in the video title I have it in the middle, but, well, see, that's a tough one, because BLFC is a big con. You know what? No, I'm going to switch it up here, because I think Texas Fur Fiesta is a bigger con than Megaplex, if I'm not mistaken, or it's like around the same exact thing, which I find them to be in the middle. There's usually about 2,900 to 3,000, so it's around 3,000, I think. But I feel like it's just more of a middle con. You're looking at a bigger con, and you're looking at a middle, so it can be either which one. So Texas Fur Fiesta. Would I recommend going to this convention if it's your very first convention? You guys in the poll said no. You said that it was not a good idea to start out with your very first convention, so that's just a 0, so I can't get up. Now, I've had friends who went to Furry Fiesta, and each time they said they had a blast. They said the dance competition was great. They got to see a couple furries that were poppy furs, I guess that you would pronounce them. And all in all, it was a really good time. Actually, one of my friends said that he might be skipping Anthrocon next year just to go back to TFF because it's cheaper and it has a little bit more of a community-based drive. Now, community-based drive is basically that where you can talk to people. And I'll get more into that when we go into really bigger cons. So far, what I've heard from it, I would probably put it in this category for your very first convention, because what you want from your very first convention, let's stop and think about this. What do you want? You want to be able to see furs, talk to them, get a couple good furs that you want to hang out with, talk to, and not be a complete stranger in any mix of fashion. Whenever I'm going to a convention, even my very first convention, I wanted to be able to talk to people. I'm a very socially awkward person, and there's a lot of furries out there who are socially awkward, and they don't fully grasp the, like, it's the you have like-minded people, but they're still a little shy. That's why actually a lot of very first year conners, they actually don't really enjoy the con. They actually stay in their room, and then they basically are just nervous to go talk to people because of their problems that they have with social, not social distancing. That's all I've been hearing. No, they've been having problems with their sociability, basically. They're inverts. They're people that have problems talking. If anybody's been to Texas Fur Fiesta, you can challenge me on this. But I feel like it's in the upper to middle tier because of it. It's a big con, but it's in a nice city, which is always good too. If you're looking to travel, like with a convention, not just go there for the convention itself, Texas is a nice place to go, supposedly. Now, I've heard other people say that it's not like the greatest, but supposedly Dallas isn't that bad of a place. What I've heard from my friends, a couple of my friends saying that it's not a bad place. They got a lot of food and a lot of things to do. So let me switch back to here. Switch back to my face. So far we have rated 3, and we are going to continue. And again, if you have any input on this, and you have any different questions, about a FurCon that you want to bring up, just let me know. Let's see. Wow, this guy has been talking. I don't know if it's, oh, hello, Crocs. Let's see. Yes. It says that I do not know a guy, some furs, who, I don't know. So, what it is Texas Fur Fiesta is a big con, but it's not like completely like wow overshadowing. Let's see, we have Husky Boy. Hello, Husky Boy. Now, when you're talking about bigger cons, um, again, there's going to be a lot more people. And there's always going to be a lot more to do when it comes to panels and stuff like that. My opinion, bigger cons, I agree with the majority here that bigger cons aren't the greatest cons to start out with. Just because you look at it and you're like, wow, there's a lot of stuff to do here. And I don't have, like, bigger cons to me, like when I first started, I planned out everything, and then I realized going through planning a big convention, or like if you're planning on going to like 30 different events, you might as well face the facts. You're not doing it. You're going to try to do it, but then you're going to be sideswiped by somebody who is in a fursuit that you want to talk to, or in a, just a random person on the street that you're like, wow, I have a lot in common with you. Let's talk it out. So bigger cons are going to probably be on either as high as meh, or they're going to be like a little bit higher, but they're not really going to get as high as the smaller cons on this list. Now, it's possible. There's one con that does bring me hope. So again, if you have any disagreements with, oh darn it, Texas Fur Fiesta being a okay con, which is basically in the middle, or what is this for? You can go ahead and just basically tell me. Like, you could say, hey, no, I think the city's terrible. I think that there is a lot of problems with it. And I will read your comments, and hopefully we can get to an agreement here. So I'm trying to keep this as you guys as possible. So let's see. What do you... talk to people. What do I talk to people about? Well, furry stuff. You could talk about different things, stuff that you're into. Basically, that's what being a furry is. You can basically, you have a lot of people who are like-minded, which makes the furry fandom great. Like if you're into anime, or if you're into different things like that. A lot of furries are into anime too. So I'm gonna go back to the list here, and again, if you just came in and you have an argument on this list, which so far Motor City FurCon is the best one that I've ever been to, and I would recommend it if you are a newcomer. So I'm going to, I know, again, a lot of people don't know these cons, so I'm going to try to mix it up here, and I'm gonna go to a smaller con, which is Furthermore. Okay. If you have never been to Furthermore, let me give you a grand scale of it. It is a local convention. Let's face the facts here. Most of these smaller conventions are going to be locals, mostly made up of locals, and you're not really going to find a whole bunch of different people like from Europe or from, Asia or anything. You're going to find mostly local people in here. A lot of people that I know is in Furthermore. I know a lot of people that go to Furthermore, and I know a ton. So if I was going to my very first convention, which, if I don't count AC, this would have been my very first convention that I had the most fun in. I would probably put Furthermore up here if it wasn't for the lack of... Oh, shoot. I'm trying to, think... Okay, so Furthermore has going for it. It used to have a Walmart. Now it's in a damn airplane terminal, which I hate. I hate conventions that are in airplane terminals. Number one, I don't want to be in the middle of sleeping and then hear an airplane going by, at 40 or 50 knots, and then I'm waking up from it, which it scares the crap out of me too. If anybody who's ever been to a convention that's been near an airport, I always get, no. I'm not a huge fan of that, so I'm going to put it down here for that. And also too, Furthermore is a convention that doesn't seem to grow that much too. So if you're trying to branch your horizon with other furries from different places, really, to tell you the truth, guys, Furthermore is not that. It is a good convention for what it is, a local convention. Panels are kind of lacking too, and the Dealer's Den is kind of so-so too. I would probably say the same exact thing for Philadelphia. Since it is a smaller con, it gets a 1-up. I would probably put it right here for, I'd probably put it for E, which is basically just if you can go to it, I would go, but I wouldn't make it a first priority. I'm going to put it in the meh category because since we are using our table from up here. Oh shoot! You know what? I just realized something. There was somebody who posted about Philadelphia, and one of their posts. Well, you know what? I'll get to it when I get to the next one too, because I think I have the next one. Yeah, he mentioned two different cons, and I'll mention him when I get to that convention, the other convention he was in. So I'm gonna put furthermore in the furry meh category. And again, it's all because it's just it doesn't seem to grow. It's all about locals. And if you're if you're a person who's going for the very first time, I would check it out. But since this isn't, it's just really hard to explain. It's like you look at it and you're like, yes, it's so cool. Furthermore, but then you look at it again and you're like, well, maybe not. It's weird. Okay, let's see. So far, I have a person that said yay to this. Well, actually, not yay, but let's see. Potentials. How long has Uncle Kage been around? Oh, whatever. Okay, so I went to Furthermore for a day because I was in town visiting family. Well, that's good. Would you agree with my assessment on that, where it's in the meh category, that where it's not like completely like overexciting, but yet it's like it's a pretty average con? I'd probably agree with myself on that. So, yeah. Now, whenever you are, it's also near the DC area. It's not like the worst con to go to, but I would probably put it in the meh category until for a very first con it's good, but like from anywhere beyond a first con it kind of goes like I don't have to go to it. It's not like a priority. And for your very first con you want it to be really exciting, and it's exciting, but it's just not like oh my gosh factor. It's not like a wow factor. So okay, so let's continue on here. I need a medium-sized con if I can find my mouse. Again, I'm doing this all in fursuit, so I apologize for the inconvenience. We have... Oh, darn it. Darn it. I completely, messed up. I keep... No, I didn't mess up. No, I'm good. I'm going crazy. Okay. I'm going to switch this out here, and I'm going to go to my create fur. Okay. So now that we got done with that, we are going to go to a medium-sized con, which would probably be IFC. IFC is a medium con. It usually gets some pretty decent numbers. It usually gets into about 2,000s, which I would consider it medium. I've never been... hold on. Oh, darn it. I've never been to IFC. IFC is one of those conventions that I've always told myself, I really want to go, but then I kind of back out in the middle of it because I'm like, I don't know anybody. I don't see anybody from Indiana. I think it's Indiana, or no, it's one of those states. I think it is Indiana. But I hear a lot of good things about it, but I hear a lot of bad things. I heard the hotel is nice. It's a very nice open hotel, which gives it a thumbs up. I also talked to one of my friends that said that the hotel actually believed the furries more than they believed a mother saying that the furries harassed their son, which I thought was pretty cool, which usually gives it a bump up. I don't know why that gives it a bump up. I just feel like in my own personal taste that gives it a bump up. This is a medium-sized con, so you get 2 up. Oh, I'm trying to think. I've seen photos for it, and I've talked to a couple people who went to it. And I want to say it's probably around here. It's probably in the middle. I'm going to go with in the middle because it just it seems like a great con. I also take a look at their dancing, and their dancing is one of those things that you can go anywhere and find a dance, but sometimes dances are better than the other dances. And we'll get to why bigger cons have better dances. Like Texas Fur Fiesta is going to have a 10 times better dance than IFC. And a lot of people do like going for dancing, and they like to go for, they like to go for panels, and I just feel like it's in the yeah, you should attend it, but it's not like a major like Motor City FurCon would. And I just feel like it's kind of like a you can go, but you're gonna you it's a good convention again if you're a local for, and that's what a lot of these conventions are, except for like the bigger ones that I'll be telling you about. I'll also if anybody has been to IFC, just let me know, and I'll definitely put you in consideration for talking about that. I have personally never been to IFC, so I'm not trying to like give it a negative score because of that, but I'm also trying to be fair of my judgment to all of these. So let's see, I got bored pretty quick, but I am glad I got to go. Okay, let's see. This is well, okay, well, see, yeah, and that's the problem with Furthermore, speaking of that. That's why I'd probably put it a little bit. You get bored quickly because Furthermore is one of those conventions that you go to and you're like, wow, this is exciting, but then you realize that it's kind of like, it's not like the most exciting thing in the world. It's just a decent convention. This was the year I was finally going to go to a con. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. There's always next year and the year after and the year after and the year after and the year after that. So hopefully you get to go to a convention eventually. I know it sucks what's going on, but I'm trying to basically give you ideas for the next conventions or maybe other conventions that could be happening in the future. So this is all giving you ideas on what conventions you want to attend next time. Let's see. We have to go to the next one, which is going to be a big one. Let me do this. Go back to here. Okay, so the moment you've all been waiting for, BLFC. Actually, not a lot of people went to BLFC. Actually, I know a lot of people who went to BLFC. I don't know why I said not a lot. It's actually a bigger con. It's about 5,000. You're looking at. So this one's kind of weird. Okay, so I've heard different scenarios of this, and every scenario that I've heard, it's been pretty decent. But the expensive part here. Okay, so when you're going to your very first con, and you don't think about expensive or expenses that much. You mostly think about, oh well, FurCon, just you go there, you have a good time. You don't know what food's in the area, of course, because that's never seems to happen. You never seem to get a good food in the area. But the one thing about this convention is it's starting to outgrow its hotel, and it's going to be even tougher to get into it next year. And the following year is going to be even worse. Now that it's on Halloween, and a lot of people like the idea of dressing up in their costumes in Halloween, I feel like it's going to try to get bigger, but it's not going to, because the hotel itself is already overpacked, and it's getting jammed every single second. Getting a hotel in this convention is not ideal because of the simple fact it's like that. It doesn't have a lottery system, so your chances of either getting in, or if you know somebody, then I would probably say that this convention, I'm sorry to say it, but for very first year, you're looking at down here. For very first year purposes. Now, if you're experienced convention goer, I'd probably put you somewhere like up here. But for the very first year convention type people, I'm gonna have to put it down all the way. Unless if somebody else have went there and they could tell me otherwise, it's expensive to get there. It is, the hotel space is hard to get in. And I heard that it's in the middle of a casino, and you could accidentally walk into the casino without knowing it with your fursuit, and then you can get yelled at. It just doesn't seem like an overall very first year convention to me. And I could be wrong. I could be the type of person that, they're going, wow, why are you saying this? This is my hometown convention. But unfortunately, I just don't find it to be all that great. I'm just seeing if there's anybody else who sorry, I'm just seeing if there's any more tweets, and I cannot find my mouse. Okay, but the idea of BLFC is basically, it's a great con. It looks like it's very fun, and if you ever been to it, please tell me why it would be a good first year con for somebody. It could definitely be for somebody out there. I don't know, so never been to it. So okay, so I see people that just came in, and we're gonna see about this. Okay, so let's read some comments here. This was the year I was finally okay. That is ooh, a live stream again. Okay, well, hello, Dingo. But BLFC again just doesn't put me in mind as a very first good year convention. It reminds me of the type of convention you go to if you're well experienced and you've done a lot of different conventions along with it. And I feel that way. If somebody wants to argue with me and say BLFC is a very first year con and I'm gonna tell you why, then you go ahead. You write down in the comments and let me know if it is a good first year con. Now, again, this is part 1 of part 2. The next one's going to be about actually going to the convention, and I'm going to have to really look into more. BLFC is kind of difficult. Yeah, I used to be staff at BLFC, but I quit. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I've never been staff at that convention or any other staff convention, so it would be great. We'll see. But again, it must create a problem for a person who goes to a lot of conventions too. So, your very first year convention, I say, don't do it. Just stop. Okay. So, what we are going to do is now go to the next one. If I can find my mouse. This is really hard, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep saying I'm sorry. I'm going to sound like a Canadian afterwards. I'm sorry. Darn it. Where the heck is my mouse? Okay, there it is. I'm going to follow it down. I cannot see. Okay, let's see here. We have this and scene. And then next one is... Boop. Okay, so our next one is a convention that is kind of small, and I went to its predecessor, or one of its predecessors, Furry, Ohio. Now, you're probably like wondering, but Dashing, there's nothing in Ohio except for Cleveland and farms. Well, you're partially right. Now I went to the people who actually ran the convention before this, which was called For Laxation, and that convention kind of went down the toilet because everybody got drunk, even including the staff, which is never a good idea. I recommend, if you're a part of staff, do not get drunk, or don't even let anybody part of staff get drunk unless if they're off duty. But they were on duty. That's the sad part. Anthrocon, Ohio, I've learned from a lot of friends that it's actually not a bad convention. It kind of took off where the other one took off, but its numbers kind of kept increasing. I think it's at 1,500. Don't quote me on that because I don't have the numbers in front of me. But the one thing that Furry, Ohio has for it is the location of it. If you take a look at the location of Furry, Ohio, it's actually in a pretty decent location. It is in a big city, so check that off your list. It has a lot of food around it, which, according to my friends, they have some pretty good food around it. But the only problem is good food to me is like mom and pop stores, but this doesn't really have it. It's just a bunch of chains. But at least it has a lot of chains around it that you can actually get to pretty decently. And it's not that bad, like driving-wise, too. So, first year cons are supposed to be cheap. This convention is pretty damn cheap if you look at a table, which I've been trying to look up these different conventions for cheapness scales, and this one not that bad. You're looking at $130 a night, which isn't that bad. If you're going to your very first convention, you want to kind of keep it cheap and then maybe break out into a bigger convention in a little heavier convention when it comes to money. I'm gonna actually, since we're moving this up, since it's getting 2 extra points for the poll. That again, if you want to go on Twitter and try to change that, you can go ahead. But medium-sized cons, but small cons, it gets only 1 point. So I'm probably gonna put it in the go for sure. Go for sure. So I'm gonna go for sure to this convention. It doesn't seem as high populated or quite as organized as uh, Motor City FurCon is, but I heard it's a pretty damn good convention, and I've talked like the 3 people that went, and they seem to all enjoy it, and it seems like it's a good time, and it's pretty cheap. So I'm probably gonna go for sure. Go for sure. So let me see if there's anybody who actually. And again, if you haven't went to these conventions, just it's not like I'm expecting you to go to every convention, and I can't seem to. Having a first seat. Okay, there you go. Okay. Again, it's a decent convention, cheap, and in budget if you are looking for a first year budget convention. The hotel seems pretty nice too. I heard it's still working on its beginning phases, which hopefully it continues on after this. But supposedly it's a decent con, and I would probably recommend it. Go for sure. So it's a good beginning con, small con. And again, if you're a local fur and you want to try to find people, that is the best thing to do. Go to your local conventions, start from there, and then work your way. And I agree with a lot of people that smaller cons are better, but some smaller cons just plain out suck. And I'm not trying to be like that dude, like that jerk who's like, oh, well, your convention's not good as mine. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that some smaller conventions don't have it together as much as other conventions. And it's might be because they're starting out, they're new, they're trying their best to get formed, and that's perfectly fine. But not every convention or every local convention is going to hit you with a wow. Unless if you actually live in the town, then you go, wow, this is amazing. This is my local convention. And you kind of feel proud about it. And it's kind of a weird thing. Until you actually have something happen like that, then it's just kind of, you won't understand until you actually feel it for yourself. So, what we are going to do is now continue on to the middle-sized con. If I can find the OBS. Still having problems here. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm just going to keep, it's going to be my catchphrase. I can't see because I'm in a fursuit. I'm just going to have that on a t-shirt soon. I can't see because I'm on a fursuit. And it's going to sell millions. Okay, so the next medium-sized con. And it's a medium-sized con to me. It's Megaplex. No. Yeah, that was a medium. Okay, that was a small. Now this is a medium size. Megaplex. Okay, so let me tell you the story of Megaplex, which I think this is it. Yeah, this is Megaplex. Megaplex has the problem of switching hotel and switching hotel and switching hotel and switching hotel. Now, for your very first year goers, not really going to be a problem. It's not. You're going for your very first year, and you're going to be having a good time no matter what the convention is, where it is, and where you're going to have it. So I'm not putting that against that. That will be in the second video of what conventions you should attend. And we'll get into that next video. That'll be part 2. But really, this convention here reminds me of like a convention you go to if you are an experienced person. And the only reason why I say this is you're hot. This is in Florida. You're going to be hot. Okay? A person who doesn't understand okay, I wouldn't say understand. They know how hot it gets. But a person who is a very first year con usually gets more excited, which tends to you drink less water. My very first convention, the amount of water I drank was about probably 2 bottles. And afterwards, I kind of felt lightheaded and I felt like a dummy for doing it. Don't do that, okay? But For your very first convention, you're going to be so excited, you're not going to be caring about water. It's going to be hot. The price for it, though, is pretty cheap, so it could be sneaking up back here, depending on what hotel they're at. Last time I checked, I think it was at $160 for a room, and again, I was planning on going to this convention, thinking about it, but who knows what happens. But I don't know, because now for the furry dance and stuff like that, I heard it's pretty good. For the panels, I heard it's kind of iffy, so. I'm gonna put it in the meh category, just because it's Florida and it's hot, but it has to go up one because it's getting plus. Thanks to you guys in the poll, unless if the poll has changed, which I hardly doubt it. The pool has since it had one extra voter. Oh, small is starting to get up there. So if you want small to win, I would definitely recommend going over there and talking about it. But it's a hot con. I'm gonna put it in the what's this. And again, if you have ever been to Megaplex, please let me know. I'm curious on if anybody has any experiences with these conventions, and would you recommend it to your for a very first convention type deal. We don't have any more comments so far. But really, when you're at your very first convention and you're doing this and you're at a medium-sized convention or any kind of convention, like I said before, you get excited. It's either you just got a fursuit and you want to party all day like it's 1995, or you're going to be out there in fursuit just anywhere, just so you could be in fursuit so you can get photos, you can be excited, have fun, and enjoy yourself. And being at Megaplex and having to go outside is a huge turnoff for me. And it's like a humid heat, so you're going to be hot. Let's see. We have somebody here. I love Megaplex because love sun. It's like a mixture of vacation and convention combination. So, I agree with that, but for a very first year con, you're going to get hot. And you better believe that you are going to get hot. And I'm not talking about just a regular normal, oh my gosh, I'm a little toasty here. You're going to get hot. And depends on what convention center too that it's going to be in. Because the last 2 years it was in the Disney convention center, and you had to actually walk to it, and I feel like that would be a pain in the butt. So my recommendation, and it seems like we have one person that says it is a good convention, go to it. So again, make up your own mind, see the prices, and check it out if you're interested. So I'm going to give it I think it's good where it's at. It's good where it's at. It's not too high, but not too low. Okay. Now we are going to go to our next one, and I will be opening up the phone line soon. So hopefully we have people coming in. Tony. Hey, Dingo and Sniff. Hello. Okay. So, let's go to the next one. Okay, so our next convention, if you have never been to a convention, you probably know this little dang doodle. You probably know it for the biggest one, used to be the biggest convention, and other things like that. So, we are getting Anthrocon into the mix. Ooh, that's spicy. I don't know why I said that. But, okay, Anthrocon, first year con. Okay, so this is the first experience I ever had with the furries. Okay, and I know this from experience. You get overwhelmed at Anthrocon. And I think the only reason why is because you see a whole bunch of furries. Like, it's not just one. It's not just 10. It's not just 100. You see like 5 to 7,000. It's just ridiculous. Do I recommend it to anybody? You know what? Here, let me tell you a little story. Let me take you down the Dashing Foxie road tour here. Okay, when I went to my very first Anthrocon, I passed out because I saw too many fursuiters and they were all hugging me, and I was like, whoa! I got really, really into it, and I passed out on the Diller's Den floor. And it was probably one of the most exciting but scariest things, because somebody said I would have smacked my head, I would have been all over. So, yippee to that. Okay, so I'm enjoying the convention. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm meeting a lot of people. And then, here's another problem that Anthrocon has. The prices. Oh my gosh, did I not go... Like, going your very first convention is one thing, but the prices were, like, so steep it scared the crap out of me. And I had an okay job at the time. But, no. The prices are insane, which has a lot going wrong for it. The city is accepting, yes. But, if this is your very first convention, you're not looking for... I don't know. I feel like if it's my very first convention, I feel like it's just... I'm not trying to be accepted by the people of the city. I'm trying to be accepted by the people at the convention. Okay? So, number two thing that happened to me at Anthrocon, and this is another funny, interesting story, I guess. I dislocated my leg, which was great. That's why I don't want to get into all that. But I dislocated my leg, and I really got down. And let's just say it was not the most fun time I've ever had in a convention. And it will probably never be my most fun time. Also, I heard a gunshot in Pittsburgh, but that's beside the point. That was a block away. Whatevs. But all I'm saying is, for a very first year convention, I also was stupid, and I tried to plan all these different events that were going on at the same time. And I'm running around looking like a chicken with my head cut off because I got so much stuff going on that, no. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But the whole entire thing is Anthrocon, is it a very first year con? My opinion, no. I would put this down in the category of fur don't. But I have a comment on my Twitter, which I will read to you guys, that might change my mind. I saw it earlier, and we will see what it says. So, my very first con was Anthrocon in 2012. Thank you, Z, for writing this in. I know her. She's a really nice person. You should go and talk to her. Great person. I would totally go again, and have, for the past several years, I'd recommend it to someone who's newer, who's never been to a convention, because the city really is accepting and loves furries. There's always something going on, and it looks like and lots of cool people to meet. Okay, so I'm gonna hold on. I gotta, first of all, that comment was accurate in some degrees. But I'm gonna try to my best not to be the guy who's like, oh my gosh. So I'm gonna put it in the furry E. I'm not gonna put it down in the furry don't. Okay, that comment was pretty good, and you guys do have a say in this. So I'm gonna move it from down here. I'm gonna give it an extra point because of the simple fact that you wrote it in. Could I go on? So every single year that Anthrocon happens, and if you have been with my channel for quite a while now, you would see that every year I always say not going to Anthrocon. I'm not going to Anthrocon. Let me tell you why. Okay. Number one, like I said, it's way too expensive. Number two, meeting people is one of those things at Anthrocon you can do. Don't get me wrong. You can meet new people. I've met a couple new people. But they're all in the cliques. Every time I go to Anthrocon, you see like 10 people here, 5 people there, 8 people here. You go up to them and you go, hello. And then all of a sudden, everybody goes, who's this guy? I don't know this guy. Are you sure you know this guy? I don't know this guy. Get the hell out of here. So, I will disagree with the meeting of the new people, especially when you're in the very first year of fandom. And I feel like if you go to Anthrocon, it kind of killed my social, my like, my sociality, like whatever that. It made my anxiety go up because I was wondering why people were not talking to me. And again, you can have a whole different argument. You can have a whole different opinion on this. But for my opinion, Anthrocon is just overrated. I'm sorry. If you love Anthrocon, you're gonna have you gotta give me a stronger reason than that. And again, this is your very first year con. You're not looking to make a impression on the scene. You're looking to make an impression at your furry convention, not on the streets high fiving people going woo. So I'm sorry, it's just yeah. Okay, so let's see. We have. Let's see. We have. I heard. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yes. Yep, I did. You have high potato. There is. What is going on? Okay. Well, I'm glad that people think that it's good. Let's see. Yeah, big cons are crowdy. I agree. I can agree with the click thing. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's all I wanted you to do. Is just understand it's a little clicky there. It's like you're in a 1950s film and you're clicking all over the place. You're hold on. You're clicking all over the place, girl. Okay. Anthrocon. Don't get me started. Terrible. Terrible. Okay. For a very first year con. We'll get to the second part where I'll give it some advantage, but for a very first year con, it is not worth it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit more interesting. And I want to hear your questions, comments, and concerns. So I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. I'm going to give my phone number out. If you're a troll, please do not troll me. There's no point of it. And if you do, I'm just going to hang up on you in like 2 seconds. And you're not really going to win because I don't really get my feelings hurt by that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the phone lines. And we're going to be... Oh, shoot. Did I not change my thing? I feel like a terrible... Okay, no, I did. We're going to open up the phone lines now as I continue talking about this. So if you have any questions at all, if you have any questions and comments about different conventions that you want to go to, you can call me at the great number of 1717-839-3684. And I will write that down in the comments below here. And we will talk about it through the phone lines. Let me find my... Darn it, I cannot find my dang cursor. This is terrible. Oh, I can't see. Again. I should make a shirt of that. Okay, 1-7-839-3684. Okay. So, I will answer your phone call, answer any questions that you might have for a convention that you really want to go to. And if you've never been to a convention, this is the perfect time to ask me about any sort of convention, or if you want to talk about a convention you've been to and you would definitely recommend it to the people. We can get into a heated argument about AC, but I'm not going to. Well, okay, maybe I will a little bit. I'll talk a little bit about it, but I'm not going to go into full detail on AC and my problems. But what I want to do is I want to make this fair, and I want people to call in. So if you're from the United States, if you are from Canada, if you are from Mexico, you can call in. You can also call in from, I think UK too. I think UK I have that option too. So please give me a call and we can definitely talk and we can have a nice conversation about furry conventions. And maybe you think I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, that's fine too. So I'm going to go to, shoot, where is it? Oh my gosh. Okay. I have like a whole bunch of people upstairs walking back and forth, so I'm sorry. Okay. Darn it. I cannot see the dang thing. Again. Okay, let's see. Okay, OBS, and then we're going to do this. Okay. So, our next convention on topic, we have another smallish con for you Canadian furs out there, Vancouver. Now, Vancouver is the smallest one on this list. it is probably one of the smallest conventions that there is going on right now, just because of the simple fact is that it's just a small little get together. So Vancouver and actually, I'm going to put those two together because they're pretty closely the same. A local convention, if you're in Canada, you don't have that many options. I'm not. You have FE, which is a bigger con, which I don't have up here for some odd reason. I can't believe I forgot FE, but it's a convention that it's pretty cheap. If you're coming from United States to Canada, the exchange rate makes it cheaper to go to Canada than it is to go to Canada to United States. So please, guys, if you have been to Vancouver, actually there was one person who went to Vancouver. I don't know if he's still here, but I would love to hear about it. And since it's a local con and you have some exciting things going on, their dances are usually pretty nice, and you usually get the Seattle furs. You usually get like all the other furs. It's pretty cheap. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna give it the. I'm gonna put it right here. But since it's pluses too, I'm gonna put it into go for it. And I'm gonna put the same exact thing as Canada for, because these are conventions that are really small. They only have about 800 attendees. Vancouver for last year, I think, only had about 800 attendees as well. So they're both in the same exact category. If you're local to it, go to it. You might as well, and have a good time. You know, just enjoy yourself. So if anybody has been to Vancouver, let me know, because I would like to know how it is, because I don't know anybody who went to Well, actually, I know one person, and he said it was pretty good, but he staffed it, so I can't really get a good sense of that guy. People who usually tend staffs, you can't really get a good sense of them and stuff like that. Okay, so if you want to call in, please give me a call. I have my cell phone turned on. Hold on, let me pick it up and show it to you guys. I have my cell phone turned on. You can give me a call. Give me that little chatty chat so we can talk about different things. You will be live on there, and don't worry, you will not be spied on me later or any crypt data. I don't know why I said that, but I was just trying to make a joke, which did not hit it. I have been to it. Mixed feelings. I skipped it this year. Furry is better. Oh wow. Did not know that. Okay, let's see. I was going to attend for Equinox. I had flights booked to the UK to Toronto, but it got canceled. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm going to try to get to Furpocalypse this year, but we shall see. Okay. Well, okay. So far we have one person, one guy. We have Mr. Salad. I call him Mr. Salad, but his name's Odin Raccoon. But he's went to the convention, and my God, is it loud upstairs? What are they doing up there? The polka? Sorry, getting very annoyed by that. But he's been to it. He says it's great, but go to Furry before going to Vancouver. He said it's a lot more fun. There must be a lot more things to do. I find that if there's a lot more things to do, you got like a little bit of a buffer of like excitement mixed with furries. So you can take it as whatever you want. Like, I'm a person who goes to convention, just socialize, sees what happened. If I want to go to a panel, I usually go to a panel, but like, it's got to be like a panel that like I'm very interested in, or I probably will not go, because panels are kind of boring sometimes too. Okay, let's see. Pronounce for A. Okay, well, good. So, you know what? Again, if you do want to go to a convention, go to for A more than Vancouver. So, oh my gosh. It is getting like, I can like, everybody's yelling. My roommate. Okay. Now, yeah, that's what it is. And I would definitely say, go for it, champ. Go to Fur A more than that, according to this guy. According to Mr. Salad, or Odin. Okay, now what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to say that the phone lines are open. So if you want to talk, go ahead, call in. Don't be shy. We are not going to bite you. We are not going to say anything. These are all your furry peers, and we are all excited to talk to you. And that is one thing that I have to say. Rooms come for free breakfast. Oh, wow. It has free breakfast and free parking. That's something that usually doesn't have it. And it has a huge mall. VF is never been to one, but okay. Well, very good story, man. If you want to go to a convention, go to Furry, which I'm like really behind on the one thing. Oh, well. Okay, now I'm going to continue on, and we are going to go to the next convention that somebody already just said. If I can find my mouse. Darn it. Come on. Can't find my mouse. Okay, there you go. So, we are going to go to a place called New England. Now, I'm going to put Furpocalypse, and I'm going to put A&E together. Now, why am I going to put those two together? Number one, they're both in the general same direction, and I've went to both conventions, and generally speaking, Furpocalypse, okay, just got a new hotel. Congratulations, Furpocalypse, because the last one was moldy. It was disgusting. It shouldn't have been continuing on at all, remotely. I don't know what made them go, let's sign another 3 more year deal. I think it was because they were hoping they would find something else so they can terminate it and keep going on with another convention. But, oh my lord, Furpocalypse was just terrible with their hotel. Now, since they got a new hotel and it's a Cronwell, it's a little bit closer to New York, so you got a little bit more of an expense there, probably a little bit more expensive. Now, this con really baffles me because a lot of first-year cons go to this convention. And I think it's because of it's kind of an exciting convention to go to. It really is. It usually gets about 2,000, 2,500 people. Again, don't quote me. I don't have the statistics on my hand. But really, to tell you the truth, I'm going to give this Furpocalypse, and I'm going to give that a, oh my gosh, what are they doing? Sorry, getting very annoyed. But it's like they're moving the chairs all around, and it's really annoying, and hopefully you can't hear it in the microphone. But whatever. Furpocalypse is definitely for a win. And it wouldn't matter anyway. It would be up there. Hands down. Hands down. I'm gonna say it's gonna be hands down for the win. Okay, so now you have the next one, which I'm just seeing if anybody called. Okay, I gotta keep an eye on the phone. The next one is Ohio. I mean, oh God, I'm like losing my mind. I'm hearing so much noises. Okay, right now we're going to Furry New England Fur, or whatever that thing right here. Okay, it's in Boston. It's in downtown Boston, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. The hotel itself was about $190, and since it was $190, I'm sorry, I'm like hearing a radio too, and it's kind of distracting. Okay, but you're probably looking at Boston, and you're probably like, there's a lot of great food there. That's the one thing that's got it going for this convention. Okay, a lot of different. Oh my God, can you shut off that radio? Hold on, I gotta go tell them to turn down the radio. I'm gonna do this live. No, I'm kidding. I'm probably going to say Anthrocon New England is probably up here because of how much food options they have. It's just pricey. So it's the price that kind of kills it. It's the price. Everything else is great. The convention center is great. It's in a really old hotel. It's not hard to get a room. It's not difficult to, you see a lot of furs, but there's no clicks available. So I'm gonna have to put it right here. I'm gonna have to put it a little bit above. I'd probably put it a little bit more down, but since the point system's in effect, we're going to put it right into go for sure. So, oh, I'm getting annoyed. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying my best to ignore everything that's going on upstairs. It is quite loud up there, and there's only 3 people. How can 3 people create so much noise? Okay, let me see here. I just gotta turn on my regular camera here. If I can find it. Where's my mouse? Go down. Yes. So those 2 conventions are probably the 2 that are so alike in many different ways. It's kind of scary and it's kind of fascinating in the same exact aspect. Just because all the same people go to it, everything is like it. It's a really, really nice con. So I would definitely recommend. I'm giving the Dashing a still approval if you have never went to a convention and you want to go to that convention. Also for FurPoc and A&E, Anthro New England. Got it. Yes, I'm the best. Okay, let's see. We have a couple people commenting. So I could type LOL. I want to go to A&E, which A&E is a good con. One you could add to this is Anthro Northwest. Exciting con for being very tame and it's not cheap. But it's not cheap. And that's, I wanted to add Anthro. I kind of wanted to add that, but I don't know. It's one of those conventions that I would like to go to eventually. It is on the West Coast. It sounds like a very fun time, but it's kind of one of my conventions that I can wait for. And I don't think a lot of people know about it because of it being new. But, okay, so guys, please call in. My phone is turned on right now. It is turned on. I'm waiting for my very first caller. Do not be shy, guys. It's not like this video will get 1 million views. We're all among friends here. Let's try to give a call, please. And I'll be excited and ecstatic for that call. I really want to call. Okay. Please. Okay. Let's continue on with our next one. We did 2 medium-sized conventions. If I can find my mouse, I would love to go to the next one. So, well, here we go. We are at, oh wait, hold on. I can't remember what this convention is. I think that's Vancouver. Oh, I added, oops, my bad. I added like 2 of the same, I think. Okay, whatever. Okay, so, now for the Piece of Resistance, the biggest convention in United States. It's the biggest convention in the world, let's face the facts. We're at MFF. Now, MFF, this is a different kind of beast. Normally, I would probably put this down with Anthrocon and BLFC, but MFF has really got a good vibe going to it. It's a big con, but with a small atmosphere. Now, it's so hard because I want to put it up here automatically. I want to put it up there, but there is a couple disadvantages. Let's go over the disadvantage. If you're new to a furry convention or anything, you're going to be first expecting to spend a lot at this convention. It is a lot because of the lottery system. This convention is hard to get to. This convention is really hard to get to. And the only reason why is because they do this whole lottery system and you could possibly get in, but you couldn't possibly get in. You could be there or you couldn't be there. This whole entire new year with their whole entire system that they created was a joke. And I think a lot of people saw that. And I feel like if this is your very first year con, you want to go to a convention that you know you can get to and you know you can have a great time. But on the other hand, this convention is a fantastic convention. It feels like a smaller convention. You can actually go up and talk to people. A lot of the people that I've met nowadays has come from MFF. And I have been there like 5 times already, and I want to go back so bad. It is so exciting. If you want to do hockey, they got hockey there. You want to do you want to go and like meet somebody you've never met before, you can do that. It's not like Anthrocon where it's a whole bunch of clicks. It's just a whole bunch of people getting together, and it's great. It's a great convention. But a first year convention now. A first year convention. If this was our part 2 of the series of conventions you should go to, I would probably put it up there. But for a very first year, it's a big convention. I have no one to reference this to. Let's take a look at the polls here. I want to see, or somebody please, call in and I will answer. Let's talk about MFF together. Okay, so let me go here, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about this convention. Let me go to, if I can find, again, having problems finding the mouse. What a shocker. It's me. Da, 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 da. Okay, there's my mouse. I'm going to follow it down. Follow it down. Where the heck is it? Oh, I'm getting like really annoyed. Oh. Don't be in fursuit. There you go. I got it. Okay. So, here we go. Let's go back to the camera. And I'm going to see if there's any sort of... I'm in the middle of my stream, please. Oh, well, who cares? Okay. So... Okay. I don't care. Let's see here. We have... Okay, let's see. I really hope take the lottery away. Well, yeah, that's what I agree with that. Not sure if MFF is good for beginners. It even takes 15 minutes to get to the main. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so here's why I agree with that. It might take 15 minutes to the main, but when you're going to the main, you find like 4 different or 5 different people that is exciting to talk to. Now, you can't talk on the bridge, which is the hot bridge, and if you are VR chat, which I frequently do, they have the new VR chat bridge, MFF, and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's very hot. I've always wanted to go, but it's far too difficult to get a room for that one. So, never have. That is where the beginners probably shouldn't go. This is your very first con. You've never seen anybody at a convention. You have never talked to anybody at a convention. So now you can go and make a case for going, oh, well, you can go on room colonies and stuff like that. That's fine. You can make a whole case for that. But I would probably say for a very first year con, I don't want to do this. And it hurts me because I really, 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 really enjoy this convention. But it has to be down here. It has to be Furry. For the very first year con, it's Furry. It's just, for your very first year, it's not good. It's not good. And I hate to say that because I want to put it up top. That's where my heart's saying, but I can't. So, before I forget, and I completely forgot to read a comment about Furpocalypse and A&E and stuff like that, which I feel like an idiot for doing it, but here's what I'm going to do. Okay, let me go to this, go to here. Okay, so we had, I didn't even realize this. I started with, okay, so this is another one for A and AC. I've been trying my best to keep up on the comments, but it's kind of tough because I didn't write them down or anything, and I should have, but I can't see. Whatever, who cares? Okay, so I think I have it on the other screen, so I'm pretty safe. I'm gonna take off my first head for a second because it's getting really hot. Okay, I started with AC in 2006, and I had no idea what was going on. LOL. And again, just a bigger con. Would definitely recommend not going to it for your very first year. Then we also have one I forgot about, Philadelphia and Furpocalypse. I think Philadelphia and Furpocalypse count as a medium-sized con when they were our very first furry cons in 2019. And we had an amazing time at both of them. They were great and introduced us to the furry fandom for us. So, yes, I agree. Just got to see if there's... Wait, hold on. Oh. Okay. But I agree 100% that it is probably one of the most... Those two conventions are really good. They're a good start out. And according to this guy, he liked it. So you know what? Since he liked it, and this is a fair base trial, I'm moving Fur up one, and Furpocalypse just stays up there because Philadelphia deserves to be in the top frames of it. So let's take a look here, and let's try our best to go back to our regular camera, our regularly scheduled camera, and let's take a look if we have any comments. I just hear all of the horror stories of traveling. Well, let me tell you something. Traveling can be a horror, especially if you're doing it by plane. Okay, there ain't a whole lot of food options near, and some of the hotel and con center, but I personally like having a variety of options. And see, that's what I'm talking about, is the variety of options that you have. That this is your very first year convention. This is supposed to be the most exciting convention you've ever went to. This is supposed to be the piece of resistance. And now you're going to have a lot more exciting conventions and you're going to get the same exact feeling. But this is where post-con depression and all the other stuff is hyped, and it deserves to be hyped. And this is your very first year. You want to have a good time. You want to make sure it's the best possible year that you could possibly say ever. Ever. So, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, please call in. My phone number is 717-839-3684. Let me write that down in the chat here. Hold on. 717, we gotta make sure you're having that extra one. 839-3684. So please, give me a call if you have any arguments of this list. Or give me a call if you have an experience that you want to share with the people. Or if you have never been to a convention and you have any questions on any of the conventions that we talked about, I will answer them personally. I can't answer for IFC or any of the conventions I haven't fully been to, but I can at least give you a good observation. And it just seems like I got a decent amount of research done. Now, I know that there's 3 other conventions on the board, but most of them are small. Like, First Squared is in Wisconsin, and you kind of can put that in with the other one, which I think that's the Indiana FurCon. I can't remember. So, let's see. E-Fur has a big grocery store across the street. Oh, wow. That is such an advantage to have, especially when you are a fursuiter or any sort of fursuiter. You want to make sure that you're located to food pretty accessibly. That's why I would have put Furthermore up higher if they didn't move the hotel. I think they moved the hotel at a good time because the hotel was starting to look a little trashy. But they were right next to a Walmart. Let's face the facts. If you're right next to a Walmart, that is probably one of the best places you can be. That would be cheap. That would be affordable. And you could go there anytime you want. So, but Furthermore is just Furthermore. It's not that exciting of a con. Let's see. They even have salad. Okay, well, that's an inside joke for me and you there, bud. Nobody's going to understand that inside joke. But please, guys, there's only 7 people here. And it would be great to get a call. Anybody wants to call me, we're all friends here. Want to have a question about a convention you've never been to? That's fine. If you have any sort of question of any sort of answer that I can provide, I can try my best. As we wait for a call, I just want one call, guys. Can you just give me that one thing? One call? Okay, no, I'm not going to beg or anything, but I would like the one call. Okay, so I want to really get some input on this, and you're at least you guys are texting me pretty well, which I'll give you credit for. So let's take a look here. There is also a big box store called Canada Tire, which they have farms and etc. Why would you want to go to a Hey guys, I went to the convention because of a Canadian Tire store. That was the coolest part of the whole thing. Like, you don't go for a I don't know, salad. Okay, let's see. The dates for Furry might think of that con instead. Okay, so there is going to be a convention here, guys. It's going to be near New York City. If you're interested, it's going to be right next to the American Dream Mall. It's going to be there. It's going to be there if you want to go to a convention. I don't know. I heard the guy who is running is pretty damn handsome. I don't know. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm sorry, guys. That was pretty pathetic. Okay, I don't have international calling. I'm sorry. Google phone is available. Okay, don't know why I said that either. Okay, but let me go back to the list here as we wait for someone to call. And hopefully we will be able to continue on. I want to try to get to the list, but I can't see anything. Say it with me, guys. I can't see anything. Wow, this is amazing. I can't. Okay, hold on. There's the mouse. It goes, it goes, it goes. I pass it? There you go. Okay, I got it. Okay, so let's go down the list and see if we all agree with this statement. Okay? We have in the lead, hold on, let me make sure. In the lead, we have Motor City FurCon, Furpocalypse. Those are for the win. Okay? Go for sure would be now these again, this is all for your very first year con. Part 2 will be basically cons that you should go to that you have that you've already been to conventions and had a lot of wonderful times. So you have Ohio. You've got Vancouver, which I think now since he said it, I'm going to move this down. If anybody disagrees with that, that's fine. Actually, I'm going to move it down a little bit more because supposedly it's not that great of a con. So I'll keep you guys in mind here. We have for A, we have Anthro New England. We have Philadelphia. Those are go for sure. You have Texas Fur Fiesta, IFC, and Megaplex, which is what's this? I don't know. I kind of ran out of things to say for that one. We have Fur Meh, which would be Furthermore, Midwest Fur Fest, and Vancouver. We have for E or E, whatever. We have for Anthrocon, and then for our last one is Fur Don't, which is BLFC. Can we all agree on this? Is there anybody who's like, okay, wait, hold on. I think that's wrong. Now the other conventions, I can't really say a lot. Furlandia, which is a con in Washington, which is pretty obvious. But I don't know too much about that. First Squared I know a little bit more about, so I'd probably put that in the category of maybe like right here, because First Square is a small convention. It is, you know what? Let's put that up here because it's a small convention. Well, no, it's just a small convention. It's basically a local fur meet. There's not a lot of food around it. I checked, and also too, I've had a couple people experience it, and they said it's a pretty decent con. And I can't remember what the other fur con is because I think the picture got distorted. But okay, guys. Okay, this is it. This is the list that are we going with. Let's take a look at our final results. And you're actually commenting a lot. Hold on. anybody call in? Nope. Okay, well, I guess calls are not going to be existent on this time. Again, guys, ain't going to bite, ain't going to rip anybody's head off. Okay. Let's see, what are the dates for next year? It usually is in June. I enjoy BLFC in the past, but evening the party is for hotel guests can be a bit of a factor. Drunks, troublemakers, and meal all around. Comments are where this is, yo. Comments are where it is at, yo. Okay, but again, I think we're going to end this stream soon. I'm going to let 5 minutes of calling. If you want to call in, please call in. The phone number is 171, whatever. You know what? You could go back, look at it. I don't think we're going to have any call-ins, but it's okay. You know, at least we experienced all the conventions that are going to be happening soon. And, oh, hello, Searchy Husk. Again, fine, I will do it one more time. 1717-839-3684. If you want to call in, give me a call. Ask about any of the conventions that we were talking about today. If you have any questions about them, I will answer the phone dramatically. I'll even add a Law and Order theme to it. I'll go dun dun. I'm only kidding. I won't do that. But if you do call in, please let me know what you think. What kind of conventions do you want to attend in the future? And I'll write, or what cons do you recommend for your friends who are brand new to this fandom? So I'm going to type it in one more time. And I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the list as we wait for a special guest. Hopefully, or not a special guest, but a person to make a phone call. Hopefully you're not a troll. Please do not call in if you're a troll. Be respectful. Okay? You don't need to be a troll all the damn time in your life. Be respectful. That's all I got to say. So, my opinion. What is the best con to go to if this is your very first convention that you're going to? I think a medium to small convention is probably your best bet. Why? Because you have number one, smaller conventions, you get to know people. Getting to know people in this fandom is probably the best advantage you could possibly have for getting a room, for getting food with your friends, for getting a car. No, I'm kidding. Don't ask them for a loan. But it's probably one of the best things you can possibly do when it comes to actually making a friendship, and then later down the road, you actually get to talk to them, get to room with them, and you get to basically socialize them when the convention's going on. Because nobody wants to feel bored and lonely when they're at a convention. It's one of the things that nobody wants to do. And a lot of people do that at conventions. And again, I just want to say this too, because I completely forgot. Please, if you're liking this, press that like button. Share it with your friends. And also hit that subscribe button for more content like this, because next is going to be part 2. Whenever you're looking to go to your very first convention, you want it to be cheap. You want it to be relatively, my opinion, my very first convention should have been cheap, accessible, easy to get to, and I don't have to drive a long distance. I got a couple of them right, but I didn't get the cheapness, and I didn't get the overall thing of that. But I will say this. If you're planning on going to a big convention, make sure you plan with the right friends. Do not just go and go, I'll find somebody who's a random roommate. We'll do this fine. Everything's going to be great. And then you realize you get there, the roommate's terrible. You basically have a terrible time because of your roommate, which I had that happen to me my very first convention, and I'm talking from experience. Do not have a bad roommate. You want to try to find people that you can trust, that you know, and that will make the convention a better experience, because you will be spending the sleeping time in your experience. If you get the guy who's going to be drinking all the time coming in at 4 a.m. while you're trying to damn well sleep, you better reconsider. Yeah. Reconsider that answer, because it will be an overall terrible time if you do not find the right people to talk to. And then you'll question about going to a convention, and that's the worst part of the thing. So just think about it. Think of all the other things, and make sure that whenever you have the idea to go to a convention, and it's your very first one, make sure it's the right convention to go to. This list is based on our opinions of everything, and hopefully we can go back to this list. You can look at it and you can go, you know what, I'm going to give MCFC a try. It's not too far, it's not too long of a drive. Support your local cons too. Again, I didn't do every single convention in this list because that would take me like 15 hours. There's so many conventions now in Europe, there's some in Russia, there's all over the world. And just be mindful when you go to a convention, and you want to think about where you're going to go. Are you going to have a good time? Is your social anxiety going to become a problem? Are you going to be the life of the party, or the person who is scared of the party? And that's what we have to think about in any sort of form. So let's take a look here. I saw BLFC is not PawCon. If you say cheap and want a cheap room, Motel 6, it will keep the lights on for you. No, you don't want to go to Motel 6. Make sure you get roomies that know you well. Having bad roomies can ruin a con, the entire convention, which I agree. I agree with Odin. But you are absolutely right, guys. And we're going to be ending the stream now, since I had nobody call me. My calling thing. Oh, wait, I had somebody call me? What? No, I didn't see it. I was too busy talking. Oh, no. Please call in again. Oh, God, I feel like an idiot. Call in again. If that was somebody calling in, please call again, and I will answer the phone call this time. I feel terrible. I can't keep this thing on, because then it will go through the computer, and it will be really loud, and everybody will get annoyed with me. So please call again. If you have called once, call again. And hopefully it's not a troll, because it is a private number, and that kind of scares me. Okay, well, I'm going to try it, guys. Wish me luck. Hold on. I gotta put you on the speaker to the computer. Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay. Hold on. I gotta put you onto the computer, and hopefully it works fine. And I don't know why it's making that scratching sound. Hold on. Your call is very important to me, and I will answer you in 2 seconds. I had it all set up. I just can't find my mouse right now. The beam isn't here. This is going to probably be an epic fail, because for some odd reason it is giving me a lot of feedback, and I don't know why it's giving me a lot of feedback. Why are you giving me so much feedback? You have no interest in giving me feedback. Hold on. Dang it. Okay. That controls that. Okay. Hold on. Hello? Oh, wait. Hold on. I don't have it plugged in. Can you hear me? Oh, man. What the heck? You stupid. I gotta get a better mixer board. This mix board sucks. Hold on. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
It's going good. How about you?
Things could be better, so to say.
Okay.
Um,
What is your question?
well, I just wanted to, I just want to say, I found this really interesting, like, having you talk about all these, furry conventions and whatnot. I've always, wondered what it was like to go to one, and I don't think that'll ever happen with my, current standing in life, but, it's whatever.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, friend.
Well, I mean, it's not a miracle I made this call. I mean, I don't know, I haven't really had a stable house to stay at for the past, God, 8 months.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
And got kicked out of my parents' house. Been homeless for like a good fucking forever. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's perfectly fine.
Alright, yeah, and I've just been hopping from house to house from friends and whatnot, but now that there's this virus going around, you know, it's like, I don't want you, I don't think it'd be safe, just, you know, so I've been bombing at hotels lately with a little bit of money I can get from work.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been much, man.
Well,
It's hard finding work when you're not. I'm not even an adult, man. I'm out here on my own.
man, I got out of the house when I was 18, and I was just like you, bouncing house to house to house. I moved 3 different times before actually settling in and actually getting a good job. It takes a while, man. You just gotta have confidence.
Sorry. My parents kicked me out when I was 16. My birthday was 2 months ago.
Well,
I spent it underneath a bridge.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. But
I know, but I just hearing you talk about, you know, stuff like this, you know, it really helps me. You know, I want you to take solace in the fact that you help me.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. But
sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just processing things, man.
It's okay.
This is the first friendly voice I've heard in a while.
Okay.
One where I feel comfortable.
Well, I mean, I hope your situation gets better, man. You know,
people like you help it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And you know, my dreams of
You'll get there, man. You just gotta relax and take it step by step. Set goals, and then try to complete each goal as you continue on in life. That's what I did. I went from being a seafood guy at Giant, barely making minimum wage, and from being now I actually have a steady job, and it took a while. Just set goals for yourself first, man, and then you can continue on with life as you go on. You know, and the good thing is you got a lot of assistance out there now, and try doing that. My sister just got a Section 8 house for about $200 a month. So you might be able to do something like that, you know, go to your situation and, you know, just try your best to make the most of life, and everybody around you will start to you'll start to get the good people around you, and that's what you need. You need the good people around you before you can actually start living your life better. And I learned that when I was 18, because I was hanging around with some bad hombres. Well, I don't know why I said hombres, but whatever. I was hanging around some bad people in my life, and then you eventually start to get better, and then eventually you keep moving on forward and living your life the way you want to live it. It just takes a while.
Yeah, I went through the same thing. In the beginning, I was hanging out with people who weren't the best of people, and once I got away from them, life was harder, but a whole lot safer.
Well, there you go, man. Well, Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you really help me keep things together, and as well as like the whole entire furry community and everything. It's like it's just that thing that I look at that keeps me going. If it wasn't for that, man, I don't know what I'd do. Like ever since my school closed down, but
Yeah.
I've kept things going.
Yeah. So, well, I wish you the best, man, and thank you for calling in. You're the only person who called in today, so I
needed to tell you how much you
well,
kept
thank
me from ending it all, and you keep going, man.
Okay, will do. So be safe, and again, set those goals, and hopefully you start accomplishing stuff. And
I'll try not to get robbed again for the 4th time this month.
Okay. So hey, I'll see you later, man, and we'll talk later.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know. How do you continue on a show like that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. that was something, and I don't legitly don't know. And yeah, well, here we are. We are here live in the I don't know department. Well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate that, and hopefully your situation does get better. And yeah, it'll be fine. So, yeah. I don't know. I didn't mean to like end the show on such a weird note. I mean, that was pretty sad. If that was, I don't know. But okay, well, getting back to conventions after that sad story of hopefully the guy's okay and hopefully we can continue on living, which whatever. Okay, but yeah, no, conventions are something, and again, I apologize. I did not mean to irrigate that. I didn't even know I have nobody to like screen calls or anything. So until I get somebody to screen calls and do songs, please keep your. I'm glad that you wanted to talk to me. You could tweet me or anything like that, but I can't be really taking phone calls. Like, I mean, it was a very nice gesture what he said, but we'll see. In-person video call change somebody's life. Well, yeah. But okay, well, guys, if there is no more calls, which please call if you want to call in. I'm fine with that. Try to keep it on topic. And again, sorry about what to hear about that. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? He's a very nice guy, though. Seems very nice. Hopefully his situation does get better. Okay, but guys, I guess if there is no more calls and there is nothing else, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for participating in all the tweets that we have had. Let's take a look at our poll now and see who won the convention of where you want to be at. So far, we have 37 votes with a grand total of Medium Cons winning. Congratulations, Medium Cons. All the Furpocalypse out there and all the other stuff like that is very good. So, good. Congratulations to them. I want to say thank you to Todd Fox for chiming in. We had a person who was like, what's exactly a medium con? And I gave him an example. And also, too, about other things and great things. So, yeah, no. I hope that you really enjoyed this live stream. And I hope we can continue on talking about different other things. Just remember, yeah, no, that was great. So hold on. Let me figure out where my cursor is. anybody have any more comments, you got a couple seconds to tweet them in or submit them. And I cannot find my damn key. Okay, here it is. Okay. Well, keep talking on video. Okay. Well, I do have to say, thank you everyone for watching. Again, hit that subscribe button if you want to be informed when I live stream again next Wednesday. That will be a Wednesday. This was my special extra clip because my last clip kind of sucked, and I'm sorry. But the one thing I have to say is, if you are going to a convention, please take a look at this list. Let's try our best to make your very first convention the best convention possible. Ooh, ah, ooh. So, if you like it, please press that like button. Please press the subscribe button. And please, please have a dashing night. Bye. Thanks for watching, and I hope you too have a dashing night. Oh no, bro. Oh no. Still can't find my cursor. I've said this 150 times during this stream, but I'm still going to say it because I can't see it.